Welcome back to the project.
About 3 kids are taken overseas every week by one of their parents when their relationship breaks down, and in some cases the parents who are left behind are going to extreme lengths to bring them home. Sam is one of them.
I saw a letter on the table and my wife told me that, okay, we finished, over.
For the last 4 years, Sam has been driven by one thing: the return of his daughter Emily, who'd been taken without consent to Vietnam by his wife.
That night it was like someone had murdered my whole family.
He's been fighting to bring his 6-year-old back home ever since.
I'm 99.99% certain that Emily wants to live with me.
Sam has full custody of his daughter under Australian law, but those legal rights aren't recognised in Vietnam. Like many countries in the Asia-Pacific, Vietnam hasn't signed the Hague Convention, an international agreement designed to return abducted children home. Sam's written endless letters to our government pleading for help.
All I'm asking is Australian government to talk to the Vietnamese government.
But time after time, he's been told their hands are tied. Gary Humphries chaired an inquiry into international child abductions last year.
We need to really put more effort into getting every nation in the world signed up to the Hague Convention, which governs these things and brings a civilised approach towards the settling of these disputes.
Desperate and frustrated by the system, Sam has decided to bypass authorities.
Emily is Australian. If Australian government can't help me, I suppose I have to hire a private investigator to help.
Chapman is a private investigator who specialises in bringing abducted children home. 2 weeks ago, they travelled 7,000 kilometres to Vietnam to secretly take Sam's daughter back.
We have used local contacts to surveil, to establish their movements, patterns, habits, routines. We won't allow the child to be harmed or exposed to any harm. But we certainly don't parachute out of helicopters with guns blazing. We try to find some subtle way of getting the child out of those situations.
Sam has pre-arranged with his daughter's mum to spend an afternoon with her. But what his ex-wife doesn't know is that he's planned to take their child straight to the airport and flee the country.
Nervous, yes. Scared. I can die for Emily. Why scared? She is my daughter. She is my life.
Cole insists no Australian laws are broken during operations like this, but he doesn't rule out bending a few foreign rules.
We're led to believe that there are alerts on the child at Ho Chi Minh Airport. At worst, Sam would be detained, the child would be removed from him, they would contact the mother and return the child to the mother.
Despite a small ticketing problem, their departure goes to plan. And if there were airport alerts in place for Emily, there's now no sign of them.
Asia is a country where money talks. There's a lot of corruption. So whoever has the most amount of money gets the most amount of help from the authorities sometimes.
It's an anxious wait for takeoff and a long flight home. Then relief when the wheels finally touch down in Sydney, where Sam's new wife and child are waiting.
I'm home. Finally, I'm home. I'm safe. No one can take Emily away from me now.
But the long-term impact on Sam's relationship with Emily is uncertain. For so many kids caught in situations like Emily's, the psychological effect can be long-lasting.
I find it really difficult to trust people and just, I guess, to sort of make bonds with people.
Jo Fisher was just 6 when she was taken to Switzerland by her mother without her dad's knowledge.
At the time I was just really confused. I think as a child you get both parents sort of, I guess, pushing you to come with them.
It took authorities 6 months to find Jo and return her to Australia.
There's permanent damage with my relationship with my mother. I don't think I could ever forgive her for what she's done. And with my dad, there's still a huge strain on our relationship. Kids should definitely be kept out of family disputes. I mean, it's just completely unfair to draw such a young child into something like this.
It's taken 4 years and more than $11,000 to bring Emily home. But Sam is certain Australia is where Emily belongs.
She will have a better future here, better education, better hospital, health, everything is better here. This is the best country in the world.
Such a tricky situation. I should say we've been in contact with the little girl's mother, who's asked not to be identified. She has admitted that what she did was beyond the law by taking Emily. She explained that it was a result of an unhappy marriage and that she felt she had no choice but to take her back to Vietnam. She says she's now giving up the custody battle with Sam so that her daughter can live in peace.
Sad story.
Family breakups are always devastating. Family breakups across two countries, unimaginable.
But what that shows is the system clearly isn't working.
No.
I mean, you wouldn't have to go to those sort of lengths if you had a system that was actually working.
Sometimes you wonder about the child in all of this, whether it becomes about the parents and not the child. Oh, it's just horrible. Horrible.